All right, let's talk about what really drives success in our crazy, interconnected world. It's not just about raw talent, and surprisingly, it's not just about passion either. It's something deeper, a powerful combination of the two. Let's dive in.
So to get our heads around this, let's start with something most of us can relate to. Sports. I mean, think about it. The biggest professional leagues, from Major League Baseball to the NFL, they're not just American pastimes anymore. They are full-on global phenomena, pushing hard into markets all over the world. But that brings up a massive question. When you take a team, which is really a brand, right, and you drop it into a totally new culture, how do you actually make it work? What's that secret ingredient that turns a global plan into a local win? And look, this isn't just some passing trend. This is a huge, huge challenge, both operationally and culturally. Making these international games feel real and authentic, not just like some corporate marketing stunt, is incredibly tricky. And the scale here, it's just massive. We're talking about major leagues playing hundreds of games across the globe. The NFL hosted 5 international games in 2024 by itself. And you've got teams doing things like Noche Latina to really try and connect with all their different fans. This isn't just a logistics problem. It takes a ton of cross-cultural skill from every single person involved. So how in a world do they pull it off? The obvious answer, the one that jumps to mind, is passion, right? Just hire people who live and breathe the sport, and all that amazing energy will just naturally lead to success. Well, as it turns out, it's a little more complicated than that. First off, let's just get on the same page about what passion even means. Academically, it's defined as this really strong pull towards something you love, something you think is important, and something you pour all your time and energy into. It's a powerful force for sure. But here's the thing, and this is super important. Not all passion is created equal. You've got harmonious passion, which is that genuine, authentic love for what you do. But then there's obsessive passion, which is more about outside pressure, about ego. And here's the real kicker. Even the best kind of passion, that harmonious type, just isn't enough by itself to handle the messy, complex world of cross-cultural work. And this is where the real secret weapon comes into play. This is the skill that takes all that passionate energy and actually channels it into effective, real-world performance. It's called cultural intelligence, or CQ for short. So what is it? Well, put simply, CQ is just your ability to work well in any cultural setting. It's not about memorizing a million facts about every country. It's about having the fundamental skills to adapt, to connect, and to be effective, no matter where you are. Let's break this down, because CQ is really made up of 4 key parts. First up is metacognitive CQ. This is basically your self-awareness. It's your ability to step back and notice your own cultural biases and then adjust your game plan on the fly. It's kind of like thinking about how you think when it comes to culture. Second, you've got cognitive CQ. Think of this as the book smarts part of culture. It's what you actually know about different legal systems, different values, different social rules. It's knowing the difference between, say, a culture where you have to read between the lines versus one where people are super direct. Then number 3 is motivational CQ. This is all about your drive. It's that genuine interest and self-belief that pushes you to engage with other cultures, even when it feels a bit awkward or challenging. It's the energy that makes you actually want to try. And finally, bringing it all home, we have behavioral CQ. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's your ability to actually change how you act, your body language, your tone of voice, the words you choose to fit the cultural situation you're in. Okay, so we've got passion on one side, and we have these 4 parts of cultural intelligence on the other. So how do they actually, work together? Well, the magic really happens through a process called experiential learning. Basically, CQ is the key that unlocks our ability to learn from our experiences, instead of just making the same mistakes over and over again. Now, I know this diagram looks a little intense, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. This is Kolb's learning cycle, and it shows that real learning isn't a passive thing. It's an active 4-part loop. You can see it starts with something like an international work assignment, which gives you concrete experiences. Your CQ is what helps you process those experiences all the way through this loop, turning them into real skills. Let's break that loop down even further. First, you have an experience. Let's say you're in a negotiation and it just bombs. Next, you reflect on it. You ask yourself, Why did that go so badly? Then you conceptualize, which is just a fancy way of saying you come up with a new idea or theory. Finally, you experiment by trying out that new approach next time. Your cultural intelligence, your awareness, your knowledge, your motivation, that's the fuel that powers you through every single step.
And when you put all of this together, the passion, the CQ, and this powerful learning loop, something really incredible starts to happen. You don't just get a one-off win. You actually create a self-powering cycle, a virtuous cycle of high performance and, well, and happiness, really.
And this diagram right here, wow, it looks like a lot, but it really pulls the whole system together beautifully. Just follow the arrows with me for a second. See how organizational support kicks things off by fueling passion? Then, that passion, guided by cultural intelligence, leads to better task performance and psychological well-being. And this creates a feeling of meaningful work, which then, and this is the beautiful part, feeds right back into your passion, making the whole cycle even stronger. It's an amazing feedback loop. So if there's one thing to really get here, it's this. Cultural intelligence is the converter. It takes the raw energy of your passion and transforms it into the high-octane results of great work and feeling good about what you do. And that feeling of doing meaningful work, well, that becomes the reward that keeps the whole engine humming. So yeah, we started this whole conversation with global sports, but you can probably see now that this idea is it's so much bigger than that. These principles, passion plus cultural intelligence, they apply everywhere, to any job, any industry, and honestly to any part of our increasingly diverse lives.
If you need a simple way to lock this in your brain, just think of it like this. Your passion, that's the engine. It's powerful, it gives you all your drive, but an engine without a steering wheel is useless, right? It might even be dangerous. Cultural intelligence is that steering wheel. It gives your passion direction and control, and it lets you navigate any road, no matter how new or bumpy it is.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. We're all going to have experiences with different cultures. That's just a fact of life now. That part is inevitable. But actually turning those experiences into learning, into real wisdom, that's a choice. So the real question is, how are you going to choose to steer?